Hi guys, I'm Amy. I felt guided to come on and do a reading from a passed on loved one. So I'm going to use Talking to Heaven to start with. So Spirit, please show me what messages that this collective's passed on loved one has for them. Wow. Okay, that was like a whole lot. I can't do that, honey. Can we try that again? Okay, what messages are there for this collective from their past on loved one spirit? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have, although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. And then I was met by so many loving people. So they're saying that when they passed over to the other side, that they were not alone. Okay. There is a divine order behind everything that happens, including the time of my passing. I realized that you weren't ready to let me go, and in many ways, I wasn't ready either. Since my passing, I've received spiritual counseling to help me see the big picture of my life and death. I now understand that I had to leave the way I did. It was part of my soul contract, and yours as well. I now see that everything in this universe is mathematically precise. There are no accidents. At some level, your soul knew that I would leave before you did. We've both been preparing for this transition since the beginning of our relationship. I am grateful for all the beautiful moments that we shared together, along with the lessons I learned from the difficult times. It's all divinely perfect. Okay, and then I was met by so many loving people. I want to put your mind at rest. I did not die alone. None of us ever comes into the earth world or ever enters into heaven alone. I was met by all of our loving relatives, friends, and even souls I did not expect. I was greeted so beautifully by my magnificent angels, teachers, and spirit guides who gently escorted me into my colorful heavenly life. It is also splendid and surreal. I cannot express to you the amount of love I was welcomed with. It feels so natural to be loved. I think I forgot that when I was living on Earth. When I came here, it was a wonderful reunion. It is a place where you see the best in everyone and they also show you the best in yourself. It is indeed heaven. Very beautiful messages there. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the spiritual meaning of birds deck. Okay, so Spirit, what birds is this loved one sending to the collective? And what messages? Thank you. Okay, so we start with Finch. Activity, vitality, energy. Finches fly in a bouncy way, alternating sequences of wing flaps and gliding. A finch is a reminder to examine your level of activity. Have you been trying to juggle so much that you're wearing yourself out, becoming frazzled and harried? Perhaps you're mismanaging your energy, putting too much into areas of your life that aren't nourishing you in return. Remember to balance activity with rest, and that includes mental rest as well. Just because you don't physically run around to get stuff done doesn't mean you're not wearing yourself out by running overtime in a mental exercise wheel. And that's really important to reflect on. Because even if you're not physically wearing yourself out, we do have a tendency to mentally wear ourselves out. Starling, community, communication, clarity. Okay, so let's find Starling, page 107. Okay, the Starling's gregariousness reminds you to get out and be social. Have you been spending too much time alone? You may need regular contact with other people to counteract the time spent in your head. A change of scenery and a change of company are healthy. The Starland also tells you to communicate, but you should make sure you're not just contributing to general chatter. Too much talk at the same time obscures what everyone has to say. Make sure that what you say is spoken thoughtfully and clearly, and listen in your turn. Otherwise, it's all just noise and a waste of energy and effort. And then finally we have Gaul, adaptability, balance, caution. Oops. Okay, the gull, colloquially known as the seagull, is an adaptable scavenger. Are you using your resources to their utmost potential? Should you be thinking outside the box more? Think about the juxtaposition between the seagull's association with freedom and the perception of the bird as a nuisance. If you see the seagull as a pest, try to see beyond that to the freedom it represents. If you see it as a symbol of liberty, remember that it has baser associations. The gull reminds us that everything has a flip side. Gull is root of the word gullible. Therefore, the gull may have also appeared to caution you against becoming someone's gull. Take everything with a grain of salt and think carefully about what you accept as true. And you can feel, was I holding that upside down the whole time? Because if I was, I apologize. Yeah, didn't notice. And I'm going to get from the Healing Waters. What is the final message for this collective from their passed on loved one, Spirit? Final message. Thank you. Okay, so we have the Sirens. Use your voice, expansion, freedom. Okay, so let's find the Sirens. In Greek mythology, the Sirens were half woman, half bird sea creatures that would entice fishermen and sailors with their sweet and sensual songs. Free and empowered, they were not afraid to share their voice and use their natural gifts to attract what they wanted. This card is an invitation to own your gifts, to share your voice, and to surrender into the most expanded version of who you are. To give yourself to the music that plays within. To share your song without wavering. To be free and to dance unrestrained. In life, there is the opportunity to become more and more alive and free with each passing day. However, most of us feel more and more trapped by the life that we've so consciously created. What do you need to do to embrace life fully? How can you step into your most expansive self? Often, while we're growing up, we experience hurt, losses, and endings that we fail to address. Those memories stagnate within us, and it becomes harder to dance and sing. However, every moment of your life is an opportunity to change, to thrive and grow. Every moment is an opportunity to express yourself, to find your natural, unique way to dance and sing. Soul inquiry, how are you being called to share your voice and expand into your most alive, empowered self? And for me, this is it. Okay, and then finally we have the rainbow. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. Okay, the rainbow. There are countless myths from all corners of the world that feature rainbows. In most cases, the rainbow symbolizes a bridge between heaven and earth and is a sign of good fortune. Perhaps the most widely known story comes from Irish folklore. It says that there is a pot of gold waiting at the end of the rainbow guarded by a leprechaun. In Norse mythology, Bifrost, the rainbow bridge, connects Earth with Asgard, home of the gods. Ancient Japanese folklore says that rainbows are bridges that the ancestors of humans took to descend to the earth. In the Old Testament book of Genesis, God sets a rainbow in the sky as a comforting symbol to humanity that he will never again destroy the earth with floods. And this oracle, the rainbow, is here to comfort and reassure you that the future is full of hope. If you've been going through a challenging time lately, the rainbow is your sign that there are clearer skies ahead of you. Rest deeply in the knowledge that the rainbow brings with it a feeling of sweet relief and a simpler future. There are new beginnings beckoning you forth. There's a clear and vibrant way forward, and the path is steady, with opportunities for deep joy, safety, comfort, and peace. Healing Waters affirmation: I'm ready to welcome the new beginnings that are waiting for me. Okay, so I'm going to leave this reading here. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.